What's poppin', y'all? YoungBoy is no stranger to crime and arrest. Immediately before he had blown up back in 2016 and had a song just released with 21 Savage, who was also really heating up. I believe that actually was that song released at the same. Yeah, I think it was released at the same time. He was arrested at a show for jumping out of a vehicle and opening fire on a group of people back in Louisiana. He was arrested in Texas at a show. He was charged with 2 counts of attempted first-degree murder. He would end up pleading guilty to a lesser charge of aggravated assault with a firearm and was sentenced to 10 years as a suspended sentence and 3 years active probation. This is important information we're going to circle back to when we look at what has recently happened to YoungBoy just the other day. NBA YoungBoy is in FBI custody after LAPD cops pulled him over and tracked him down when he allegedly attempted to flee the scene. We're told the bust went down Monday. LAPD and the feds attempted to pull over a vehicle NBA YoungBoy was in because he has an outstanding federal warrant. That set off a short pursuit, but once the car stopped, cops say the rapper bolted on foot. Our law enforcement sources tell us the cops set up a perimeter and brought in a canine to help find YoungBoy. By the way, we're told the police dog didn't bite him, but did sniff him out. We're told the cops found a firearm in the vehicle. Unclear if that belongs to YoungBoy. But we know the feds have him now. We've reached out to his camp and no word back yet. This is very little information we've been given to work with. There's also video footage of them arresting YoungBoy in California when he had tried to run away on foot. I'll play that for you right now.
Damn, fucking FBI's here, fucking all kinds of shit.
This is one crazy scene. I mean, YoungBoy had to pull out the cheats for that one, maxing out on the R1 circle, R2, left, right, left, right, left, right, to get 5 stars on GTA IRL because he's got helicopters in the air moving around to find him. I'm not quite sure if the helicopter was just a random one circling above and just a coincidence, but I highly doubt it's coincidence that there's all these police vehicles and a helicopter that's so low to the ground that you can hear how loud it is would just be passing by at that moment. Like 6ix9ine had once said, only 2 fears he had were God and the FBI. And in this case, the police department was arresting him for this federal warrant issued by the FBI, which has never ever been a good outcome. YoungBoy has gotten into trouble tons of times after that guilty plea back in 2016. The most recent were these gun and drug charges he had caught with his whole crew of 16 people in Baton Rouge while recording a music video. The shooting that happened in Miami, that an innocent man died and I believe his girlfriend was shot, she survived though, and the hotel surveillance footage of the assault that happened. But this is by far the most worrying thing he's ever had to face because we still don't even know what the warrant is for or why he got arrested. Usually within 24 hours, if not instantly, it's reported why he was arrested and we can see his charges. But in this most recent instance, that's just not the case. The only time I can remember in hip-hop history that beat a case against the FBI was Murder Inc., and they lost their entire record label and pretty much business just from the fees associated with defending themselves. So it still wasn't by any means an ideal scenario for them to be in with the outcome. And I firmly believe that this is somehow related to that arrest that was made on him and his homies back in September of 2020. Sure, they were bonded out, but the police officers found guns, drugs, and over $79,000 in cash. Pretty easy to say they're running an operation. Not to mention all of these guys are repping the same crew, 4KT or NBA, whatever it might be. They're both nearly the same. One is just really more cleaner and presentable version for merchandise and branding. Not to mention, just a month ago, Baton Rouge news station WBRZ had reported that YoungBoy was being investigated by federal officials in an article. A Baton Rouge rapper with a lengthy arrest record is once again under investigation, this time by federal authorities. On Tuesday, February 9th, District Attorney Hiller Moore confirmed to WBRZ that Kentrell Deshaun Gaulden, who's also known as NBA YoungBoy, is under investigation for his alleged connection to a September 2020 music video that was filmed in Baton Rouge and led to the arrests of 16 individuals, including Gaulden, on drug and weapons charges. The district attorney said federal authorities are looking into the case. As a convicted felon, federal and state laws prohibit Gaulden from being in possession of a firearm. This didn't really go viral and get posted on many blogs because, first, it's a small news station, and it was also overwhelmed by all these bigger news and media outlets reporting the arrest of YoungBoy and how quickly he bonded out and got released. All of the attention went to those videos and not these couple of sentences that say he was part of a federal investigation now. A lot of YoungBoy fans seem to think that he isn't going to get in much trouble because they only found a gun in the car, but the first thing is they found a gun on him while he's a convicted felon who's no longer on probation since the end of 2019, so it's not as bad as if he was on probation, but he got up and ran away from police officers. And they had to do this whole chase and expend all of these resources in order to apprehend him, so running away only adds to his trouble. And this isn't even just some routine traffic stop. He's wanted for a federal warrant for charges we have yet to see. When you get picked up by the FBI, or picked up by the police department and handed over to the FBI, it's pretty much guaranteed you're going to do a long stretch of time. It's just a matter of how much time, not whether or not you're going to get locked up. And in YoungBoy's case, I wonder how that's going to work with the suspended sentence. He got off probation and it's been nearly 5 years that have gone by since he was sentenced. If he gets in trouble with this, that means he's going to do at least 5 years in prison. And that's if we assume the best case scenario is he only gets 5 years, with whatever the case the FBI are going to present, and they run concurrently. 5 years is a very long time to be locked up. And that's looking like the best case scenario if all of this stuff is true. Look at the number of years people were getting in the 6ix9ine and Treyway case. I mean, Shotty is doing 15 years. And in this case, there weren't even any murders committed by the gang, or none that they were charged with at least. With the beefs that YoungBoy and his crew have been involved in, there's been so many murders. We've seen that people alluded to the crew having committed on their ops just on the internet. So if they pull those up along with RICO charges, man, these numbers are going to be insanely high. And this is overall a very, very unfortunate scenario that YoungBoy found himself in, especially with how many children he has. And can we honestly blame anyone else but himself, though? We first have to wait for the evidence that's going to be presented and the charges, but if it's anything post-2017, then it was YoungBoy's decision to continuously stay in this life when he didn't need to, and around these people, because he was already making great money from music at that point in his life. Now, if the charges and evidence that are being presented occurred prior to that, it's really just his past coming back to haunt him. But I don't really think that this federal investigation would bring up stuff from before he was 18, because he was a minor. But let me know what y'all think in the comments. Is this just a little speed bump that YoungBoy is going to be free really soon, or is he facing the most legal trouble he's ever had to deal with since the attempted murder case? Like, subscribe to this channel. Most of the content will be on here now. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Thank you for watching. Peace.